boxing. Man in boxing, led the Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellas Sports TV. Woo!
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you. Get 18% off. We out.
All right, Danny Garcia is saying he ready to go up after 2 more big fights at welterweight. That can be subjective because 2 more big fights, he can fight Errol Spence next if that's true. And Errol Spence responded to Maurice Lee. I might talk about that a little bit later. Somebody sent it to me. But 2 big fights can be subjective. It could be I could fight Errol Spence, 2 tune-ups. Then, he says he wants to rematch either with Shawn, Keith, was it somebody else? Or Shawn or Keith, I think it was. And then he want to move up to 154. Or he can get 2 big fights in a row. Well, if he beat Errol, then he go into a Shawn or Keith fight. So let's talk about it. We back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. We working. I got to set up my basement, man, so I can start doing my videos back down there again with everybody being at the crib. I don't want to work nobody up, but yeah, I'm sure my setup going to be dope. So make sure you check out Goodfellas Sports TV 2.0. I'll be dropping some new content over there. That's going to be more of a podcast form. And live stream, so I gotta find me a female host, and we're gonna talk about different topics over there. So it's gonna be more different. But Danny Garcia says that his career is incomplete without going up to 54 and getting a title. So I ain't mad at him. You know what I'm saying? What not say? Street dreams and then he got a street dream. If Danny Garcia move up to a 3rd weight division before Errol Spence move up a weight division, or Keith Thurman move back, or Errol, Keith, or Shawn move back up a weight division, that just lets you know, man, scared money don't make no money. They scared money. All their careers is being protected. And Danny Garcia, win, lose, or draw, whatever you do, move up to 54 and just have a preliminary or a tune-up fight up there. To Danny Garcia is probably the most proactive PBC fighter out there. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be trying to get 3 titles in 3 weight divisions. So you can't knock it, man, because Shawn Porter started off at like light heavyweight and came down. Errol Spence started off at 54. Keith Thurman started at 54. And all of a sudden they making a career out of being a welterweight for what? You know what I'm saying? Y'all, all the fights have been beyond, it's beyond repair at this point. All these fights are going to be, it could have been this good had they fought 2 or 3 years ago. So it is time for them to move up. It is time for them to test their skills. And the guys at 54 like Lara, it's time for them to move up. Jermell should be prepared to move up. You know what I'm saying? It's other guys there. Jerry Hurd is a big guy. He should be prepared to move up. That's what boxing is about, being pound for pound. Do we have our exceptions with Marvin Hagler? Yes. You know what I'm saying? But people forget Hagler took him 40-something fights to get a title shot. And then he got robbed of that. And then he came back with 46, 47 fight and something like that and got his title. So, and there ain't no politics at the next level of 54 neither. So Danny can go in there, tune up, and he can get a title shot versus a guy like Castanos. Castanos may be the best stylistic fight for him because he's a shorter guy, and he comes to him. So if Castanos get the WBO title, or if he unified titles, I can see Danny going up there and competing with Castanos. That's probably the best style for him up there. You know what I'm saying? Because Teixeira big, Rosario big, Charlo big. So if Castanos get a title, don't be surprised if Danny jump up there. If he could beat Teixeira when boxing resume, he jump up there. So that's his best way of getting the title, in my opinion. Not a regular title, possibly versus Michael Soar, nothing like that. His best opportunity is to get a title versus Castanos because of the dimensions and the size. But, most people believe Danny Garcia can't compete at 54. He too small. He don't have fast twitch, but he do have those skills as far as timing. He do have them skills as far as counter punching. He's a very, very smart, well-coached fighter. So, his skills might get him through, but he just don't have the athletic ability to move up and dominate like Roy Jones could, like Floyd Mayweather could, like Pernell could. You got to have those. You either got to be a dog and a good pressure fighter, a good strong fighter, or a good all-around boxer like Duran or Chavez to move up and bring the pain, or you got to be a special athlete like Shane, Pernell, Floyd, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, You know what I'm saying? You move up and beat guys with speed, intellect, boxing ability, and outthinking them. And Danny can do some of those things, but I just don't think he twitchy enough to move up to beat the bigger guys. So, like I said before, you know, they kind of giving us these fights that nobody want to see no more. We seen Keith and Shawn. We seen Shawn and Danny. We seen, you know, Errol and Shawn. You know, we gonna see probably Danny and Errol. We might even end up seeing Keith Thurman and Errol Spence. Nobody cares about those fights no more. Yo, PBC people gonna tell you, oh, them still some good. No, them fights it's like getting a steak overcooked. Nobody even want it well done. You know, who want a steak overcooked? All tough and, you know, chewing for days. That's what those fights are at PBC. They should have happened years ago, and they should be at 54, a lot of those dudes. But I would respect Danny Garcia if he jumped to 54 before, you know, Shawn and Keith and Thurman officially move up in weight, which would be at least to 160 for Shawn and Errol. So, Shawn and Keith. But, you know, I just don't see him doing well up there versus nobody else but Castanos. People say, well, but Teixeira ain't that good. Curtis Stevenson knocked him out. Curtis Stevenson packs a punch, and Teixeira like 5'11 and a half, long reach. You know what I'm saying? And he can box and move, and he can take a punch. Danny could take a punch, but, you know, like I said before, I favor every champion over him right now. Unless Castanos get that belt, it ain't nobody he really go up there and he can beat. Even if Jer Hurd, you know, figure it out and get a belt back, I don't like his chances in that fight. And I'm just speaking from, you know, my opinion standpoint. But him, you know, trying to chase those rematches with Shawn and Keith, and that's good. He finally mentioned the Shawn Porter name. Because he lost to Shawn Porter. I thought it was a close fight. It's not a fight that I necessarily care to see again. Him and Keith is not a fight I necessarily want to see again. I think they need to move on. You know what I'm saying? If they want to fight again, take that shit to 54. These dudes at PBC is overstayed their welcome at 47. Every one of them fights they can make, they have already expired. Every one of those fights should have happened 2, 3, 4 years ago. And they talking about building stars, and all they doing is marinating fights where the meat is spoiled at. They don't have one marquee fight over there no more. Keith Thurman, Errol Spence was the fight to make. They went out their way not to make that fight. So now that the fight ain't made, come on, people just lost interest in it. Errol Spence even lost interest in it. You know, and these dudes, you know, people say, well, you know, this dude ain't fighting this guy. They ain't fighting nobody. They fighting each other, bro. And not even the best version of Shawn Porter. Not even the best version of Errol Spence. Not even the best version of Danny Garcia. Not even the best version of Keith Thurman. All them best versions of them dudes is in the past. They ain't getting no better. All them dudes are guys that overstayed their welcome. And the way boxing is set up, Al Heyman can protect them from the young guns as far as Ennis, Ortiz, Regis, Jose, Josh Taylor, anybody else. And eventually, Rashidi Ellis. Eventually, you know, they gotta fight somebody else outside their network, bro. And eventually, these young guys that's gonna fill Maurice Hooker and all these dudes that's gonna refill the division with new blood. Eventually, either they gonna have the WBC, IBF, WBO, WBC, they got to do the right thing and start ordering the tough mandatory so these dudes will fight somebody else. But upsets are going to come. I'm telling you, upsets are going to come. But as far as Danny, 1 second. My bad, lost my train of thought. But hey, had to restart the video. But with Danny Garcia, you know, ambitious. I don't see a title coming at 54 for him. Great fighter. Well, good, great fighter at 40, good fighter. You know, I wonder if he loses his next big fight, you know, would he want to still move up to 54? But I just don't see where he gonna get in at unless somebody move up or unless Castano get a belt. So, and we actually have to see, you know, how it pan out. If he beat Errol Spence and, you know, or whoever he fight next, and he beat Shawn, and then, you know, they give him, you know, mandatory to the next, you know, weight class. We'll see, but his career is just gonna be incomplete, you know, because he ain't getting no title at 54. I'm not convinced he could beat Castanos. That's a good style for him, where a guy's gonna come in his come in his kitchen and throw a lot of punches. So if it ain't Castanos, I don't see him getting a title unless the title get into somebody weaker hands. But Rosario, Jermell, Lara, they just got too much wiggle movement. I don't think he could beat a guy like Austin Trout. That was a name being thrown around that Trout was willing to come to 47 to fight Danny Garcia. If I'm Danny Garcia, I think Trout and Lara are absolute the worst styles for me at 54. I wouldn't touch them fights with a 50-foot pole. So something you got to look at, man. But hey, it's Goodfellas Sports TV. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate everybody for checking in. I want to make a donation, Cash App, PayPal, inscription. Best way to donate, share the video. You missed our live stream last night. We had a great NBA live stream. Check it out. I'll put it in the NBA 101 playlist when I get back to my computer. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you guys think. We out. Article link in the description too, so you can check it out.